Hey everybody, it's PancakeMx, and I am here with CoDameron, and it is finally time for us to talk about my draft. Everyone else has gotten a chance to talk about their draft, and it's time for me. And I wanted to wait a little bit because I'm actually very close to playing my first match. And so we're gonna speed through this, and you'll get to watch this, and then watch our first match, which I hope will be an exciting affair. Um, CoDameron, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm CoDameron. I'm Colby. I am the coach of the Boca Raton Belly Bolts. I'm here with Pancake Mix, captain of the Queen's Majesty logo up in the corner.
Majesty.
We're small in the corner because that's what Discord's given us. But I'm hyped for this team. I helped Pancake draft this team. Um,
hmm hmm
I'm I have a lot of opinions about this team, but he is the architect and shogun of this team. What is your title? You're the archduke of this team, is what you
Yeah,
are.
I'm the Archduke. That is my title. That is my royalty. All right. So we wanted to start off with a Pokemon that I felt was like good at a bunch of things, or at least strong enough to take a hit. I looked at a bunch of the like really fast, really strong Pokemon, and I was like, these Pokemon, I feel like I just punch them and they fall over, and that is not what I want from my first pick. I want somebody who is ready to stick around and annihilate, sticks around one in as one of the best. Um,
You
if
had you
annihilate
had
gets
second pick.
Yeah, I had second pick. I could have had anyone I wanted except for Chiyu. Um, and I was like, I want Annihilate. Annihilate's also my boy. Like I knew that I like going into this, I was like, man, I think Annihilate's a cool guy. I also didn't want to spend I wanted to spend less points on some of my stuff. Like I was like spending 20 points on a Pokemon sounds really expensive, so I'll spend 19. That'll be better. That'll be a little nicer. Um, so yeah, we got Annihilate, and I'm excited about this Pokemon. This Pokemon hits really hard and can get hit really hard, and whenever you hit him, he gets stronger. And that is the thing that I'm excited about. We've named him Hamlet's dad, and we've got like a totally solid regular boring set for him. Actually, this probably won't be under focus. It's more likely to be Vital Spirit.
Or
Um,
Defiant.
so a thing about my team. You'll notice this later. I have, I am. I'm not going to say I'm immune to intimidate, but I have a feeling that people will be very careful and selective and intentional about how often they bring intimidate against me. So I think I will be able to sneak in a few non-defiant annihilates over the course of the season for value.
Can you show me the whole team just like as an
Oh
overview
yeah,
for a
yeah.
second?
So
Like,
we've got yeah, here it is. Here it is. We've got Annihilate, Volcarona, Jolteon, King Gambit, Rapska, Crocodile, Cryogonal, Skuntank, Jumpluff, Carkol, and Sliggoo. Noting that Sliggoo and Jumpluff were late additions. I traded up to give my team some extra support options.
cool.
But yeah,
Yeah.
starting we're starting with Hamlet's dad, Annihilate. What a monster. Um, and then and then bringing the 110 HP final gambit. This is the thing. This is the other thing that you need to be worried about. If you got the guy that holds your team together, what if I just trade my guy for your guy? Because as much as like Hamlet's dad is here to be a monster, he is not necessarily the centerpiece of my team. Like your Tinglu or your Wochien will be.
And I think this is a thing that you and I talked about a lot in picking this draft is that Annihilate first pick is not necessarily the strongest mod in the format, but it is certainly the most versatile while being the most threatening. Right?
Yeah.
You see Annihilate in the thing, you're like, I can't run Intimidate. Um, it's going to kill me with this Rage Fist. We're going to run some cool combos with it later.
hmm
And what if it just final gambits me?
What
So
if it just final gambits you? Yeah.
with the first pick, with the second pick of the draft, it is this idea that we can have this flexible centerpiece that we don't have to build around like a Chi-Yu. Like I picked
Yeah.
Wo-Chien first, and I felt like my whole draft really had to support and justify that pick, despite it being cheaper.
Mhm.
This Pokemon lets us do a lot of other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's with the
Next
name?
on our oh, it's Hamlet's dad. Hamlet's dad is dead in the play Hamlet. Maybe you knew that. Fun fact: his name's also Hamlet. Um, all right. Next we have the Monarch. This is Volcarona. And Volcarona, like first two picks, I wanted Pokemon that I was excited about, wanted Pokemon that I was comfortable with, wanted Pokemon that I actually just genuinely like and am excited to play against. And that's where Volcarona comes in. Um, Volcarona is one of my favorite Pokemon. I think Volcarona is awesome. And Volcarona also does a whole bunch of things for me. One, it is that hybrid support and attacking Pokemon. The support setup and like late game threat Pokemon. Um, I can run like this like a Jetpack Tailwind set. So I've got Will-O-Wisp to burn you. I've got Overheated Jetpack if I really want to, and I've got Tailwind. I knew that I wanted a mon early in my draft that could set Tailwind. Um, and but I didn't want it to just be setting Tailwind. That's the other thing. Like I think Talonflame was in fact still available.
Oh yeah.
And I considered Talonflame, but I wanted Volcarona is more fun. Like Talonflame is great, probably the best, probably the actually the best Tailwind center in the format. But I wanted something more fun, um, and that's where Volcarona comes in, especially with the like support options between like Struggle Bug. I think will be really helpful. And then I've got this like other nice little set that is like your standard quiver dance up, and like sometimes if you quiver dance and your flame body and they get burned, then you just can't lose.
So I I'm a fan of you picking Volcarona a ton. Show me the stats again. You are
Yeah, look at this guy. Look
You
at
are
this
a
guy.
Volcarona believer. I talk a lot about like what Pokemon you're a believer in. I'm like warm to lukewarm on Volcarona. You
Sure.
love this Pokemon and you always run it to its limit. Um,
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
also
No,
talked a lot
I'm
about
all about the Pokemon.
Tailwind, how you are just kind of a token Tailwind player, and
I am a Tailwind player.
I think that this base 100 speed, um, bulky defensively, it can run Rage Powder. Do you have Rage Powder on the first one?
Oh, I did
Um,
put Rage Powder on the first one, but I should.
yeah, like,
Rage Powder is also the thing it does. Suddenly you have to fight me instead of Hamlet's dad, and now you get burned.
and
Yeah.
I love this dual lead where if you see just on the first two picks, if you see Volcarona, if you see the Monarch and Hamlet's dad next to each other, you don't know if you're going to get bulk up Rage Powder or if you're going to get Final Gambit plus Quiver Dance or some variation of the two. And
Hmm.
that is one of the things that I think that the start of your draft does so well is that you are picking these Pokemon that are both threatening on the physical and special side. They're both supportive in their own unique ways. They're both things that need to be respected. And they're not anything overtly costed. I don't think either of these were overly expensive.
Yeah. These are like 19 and 18. Um, Next on my list is this Jolteon. And we picked Jolteon, or I picked Jolteon for this number here, 130. Um, this was, as we saw, the biggest number currently in on our side of the draft. All of the big, fast, strong Pokemon got drafted in the other conference, and so I was like, great. It is time for me to be able to secure knowing that I have a Pokemon that's just faster than than my opponent's Pokemon. And that's just so valuable for me, especially a Pokemon that can click Discharge, a Pokemon that can click Thunder Wave, a Pokemon that can pin Missile and 4 times resist for Hamlet's dad to set up that Rage Fist. Um, and also, I think is important to note about Jolteon, you just have to be afraid of Terra Blast. Like, our buddy's got 110 special attack and is faster than you, and what if he just finds the thing that stabs into you that you're afraid of? And he could
It
just become that, and you can become that on turn one on any game.
I think that Terra Ice choice specs is a real set with Jolteon. I don't
Hmm.
know if it needs Focus Sash ever. I don't know if it's ever like unless it's really like if your opponent just doesn't ever resist electric attacks. If they have
Right.
no ground or grass types, then maybe you just run Jolteon with Sash. But otherwise, I think you're almost always buffing its attack in some fashion. I don't think you're ever running Scarf. I think the whole point of Jolteon is to draw out the Scarf from somebody else, and then he gets
Yeah.
bopped by someone who has Scarfed, and you go, well, I guess that
Yep.
was Jolteon's job is to make sure that someone is running a Scarf instead of something else I wanted to run.
Yep. And I know
Um,
what attack slaps coming.
are you
Yeah.
spilling all of your strats right now?
Um. No. I'm
Okay.
just saying we got pin missile things. We got pin missile things. It's got fake tears. Fake tears is good. Like Volcarona Jolteon, totally solid lead. Fake tears the guy who's gonna live the heat wave and just go to town.
Yeah, scroll through these
Um,
moves. I think Yawn. I don't think support Jolteon is the thing, but like Volt
right.
Switch is cool. I
Mhm,
think
mhm.
I think Copycat is a thing. Isn't?
Oh,
Oh
it
no.
does get copycat.
Oh, I'm thinking of
You're thinking of
Liepard.
Purloin.
No, I'm
Yeah,
thinking of
I love Liepard.
Liepard. I
Yeah,
miss I miss
but
Copycat Trick Room things.
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There is some, perhaps there are copycat shenanigans to be had. I do like copycat. I miss running Hat Cat. Hat Cat was definitely my favorite team in last generation of
But
VGC.
but definitely just like a Terra Ice threat. I remember you were playing in another match and we were theory
Yeah.
crafting the whole thing and just Terra Ice Jolteon. You ran a scarf because Terra Ice Jolteon wrecked your team. You
Yeah,
just lose to Terra
because
Ice.
I had Noivern and Noivern needed to be able to no, I think I ran Sash because I needed to be able to set Tailwind so that I could outspeed Jolteon. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it went.
Cool, man.
All right. Next we have this guy. And this guy's a fucking monster. Oh my goodness. It's got 135 attack. Wears an assault vest like a champion. Also defiant, which means, as I mentioned, I might not need to be defiant all the time, which means I can be Supreme Overlord. Supreme Overlord is cool. I just get stronger if I bring my guy out last, and this is a great guy to bring out last because he's tanky. He gets Sucker Punch for the inevitability. He gets our never missing Kowtow Cleave, our prostrate slash, as you will, if you will. Um, oh, he gets Steel Beam. Don't worry. Perhaps I will click Steel Beam. I clicked Steel Beam a lot last season.
With
It's a good move.
Magneton.
It's a good move. It's a good move. Um, yeah.
So
Oh, and I get Guillotine, right?
he gets Iron Head. Put Iron Head on this Pokemon, please.
No, if Tinglu wants to play games, if Tinglu wants to play, I will come to play. Let's click. Let's click. Let's play some. Let's let's play some Paldean roulette. What you got?
Okay, you monster.
All
So
right. Yeah.
so I got
Go
a
ahead.
question. I got a question for you about this guy. Scroll
Yeah.
through his moves again, and
Yeah.
I want you to note any supporting moves that this mon gets.
Um, this mon can sword stance. That's very supportive. Um, he can
He can taunt and Thunder Wave. I don't think
taunt and Thunderwave.
he can run
Um,
Quick Guard.
he can endure. No, this guy's not around to support.
Right.
This guy's the Shogun. This guy's the Shogun.
So
He
so
is
a
not
thing about
here.
a thing about King Gambit is like 80 to 90% of them are running Assault Vest or something, some ridiculously high number. And I think that's because he actually has a bonkers physical move pool.
Yeah.
Like he's got
Um,
Low Kick and Poison Jab and Stone Edge.
it's actually not that deep. He really just likes to stab.
Really?
Yeah, he's like dark attack, steel attack, coverage.
Okay.
I think I might even recommend like coverage in your or Terra in your coverage. We'll see some Terra poison very shortly when we get to the team for the first week. But yeah, King Gambit is here. Gets to be Supreme Overlord because I have enough Defiant on this team. Um, I'm not running pressure. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. And then to like round out this like nice opening thing, we have Rabska. And the thing about Rabska is we all know it gets Revival Blessing. And Revival Blessing interacts supremely nicely with my two huge physical attackers. One, Annihilate's Rage Fist does not reset when Annihilate faints. So if I come out with Annihilate, let him get hit a couple of times, bring him back, his Rage Fist is still stacked. Which can be a problem. Which means I can do things like Final Gambit and then come back later and I won't have the stacks, but I can Final Gambit you, bring back my Annihilate, and now you have to deal with the rest of Annihilate. Right? And then every time someone dies, even if they come back through Revival Blessing, it still counts towards Supreme Overlord for King Gambit. And so Rapska is here to be just like whatever I need it to be in that round. It's Revival Blessing. It's my Imprisoned Trick Room. It's my strong special attacker. It's my really bulky guy. Like this
Yeah,
dude
what are the
is
stats on this
75,
guy?
85, 100. 75, 85, 100. Like
That's fine.
I've been playing with this. I found out I was like, "Oh man, I'm going to get Shadow Balled." And I just live the Shadow Ball. It's fine. I'm fine.
From
He just
Fluttermane?
from Fluttermane, yeah, his stats are just bonkers. His stats are just bonkers. I'm running max HP, but yeah, stats are bonkers. Really, really bulky, really tanky, especially for a bug. And he gets actually pretty good coverage. Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power, Energy Ball is just really nice to be able to round out some attacks. Gets Memento, gets Psych Up, which is one of my favorite
Oh my
moves.
God.
I
You
don't
would
know.
Psych Up.
I would Psych Up. I don't know what Psych Up is coming. Oh, and it gets Weather Ball. I'm very excited to be able to click Weather Ball in the relevant matches.
Yeah. Yuck.
Yeah, yeah. And then it gets okay, but then it gets this weird stuff: Guard Swap and Speed Swap and Power Swap. Speed Swap.
So some of those are different. Like guard swap and power swap like the buffs or something.
Right, Guard Swap and Power Swap move the bus, but Speed Stop moves the stat, which means if I need a slow thing or I need my Rapska to be fast, it can be, or if I just want your thing to be slow, I can do that. Or if I want to be slower than you in Trick Room, I can switch to your Trick Room setter.
It's a
Yeah.
weird speed control option.
It's a
But-
weird speed control option, but it's also a speed control option that almost no one else really gets. Speed swap is great, cool. Yeah, this is it.
I'm missing really the thing that I'm looking at for speed swap is always Alolan Raichu, right? Not here today, but that was always like the token speed swapper. But a thing you haven't mentioned about Rapska is the ability. And it's not synchronize.
Yeah, it is not synchronized. It is telepathy. Telepathy, it means I can earthquake, means I can discharge, means I can explode. These are all things that can happen right next to Rapska, and then Rapska will be happy to soak it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to look through Rapska's list a little bit longer because I think that this mon is super underrated. I think that its stats, like it's got 110 base special attack. This thing will actually get you.
Yeah, this thing is actually pretty strong.
Like, let me see its actual coverage. It's Bug Psychic, which is just awful. It looks awful, but like I think that Bug Buzz Psychic is just fine. Earth Power. It gets Earth Power.
Bug Psychic Earth Power is in fact just fine. Gets Dazzling Gleam. It terras really nicely because it can Terra into Dazzling Gleam, Terra into Earth Power, Energy Ball. Like 10% is not that much.
And it is your Trick Room setter. Do you have another one? I don't think you have another one.
Yeah, no, it is my Trick Room setter.
And I don't think you really plan on clicking it, but I think it clicks Imprison just fine. I think
Imprison just fine.
it clicks
really
Recover. It gets Safeguard.
It gets Recover and Safeguard. That's very true.
I love Safeguard in this format. It gets Trick. Yeah, this mon gets ability. Like this thing could run specs. I would put specs on this thing with Bug Buzz, Psychic, Earth Power, Trick.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? That sounds great.
Does feel great.
Yeah.
Does feel great.
Into a Trick Room opponent. That sounds fine.
All right. Next set. Next one. We're actually going to talk about a pair. We've got the Kingpin and Arthas, and these two are besties. For like every once in a while. These are my Anger Point Earthquake combo. I Frost Breath my Kingpin, I trigger its Anger Point, I go up to +6, and then I click Earthquake, and since Cryogonal levitates, everyone's happy about it. Everyone's chill. Cryogonal gets this around, your Pokemon die, it's gonna be great.
Can you look at the stats of Cryogonal?
Cryogonal is your very special snowflake. Does not like being hit. Doesn't like to do physical things, but does like to do special things. If you can hit it physically, it's gonna be sad. If it tries to, like, it gets Explosion, but it doesn't want to click it because it's coming off of 50, right?
Yeah.
Like,
when I look at my mons, I look at their valuability to click Explosion.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
No, but I think
it says 105. 105 is fast. it says 135. That means it can actually take some special attacks. And 95 is fine for the special attack, especially since it's really fast. And like one of the things that it actually likes to click is it likes to click Icy Wind. Um, it likes to click Freeze Dry, which is a silly move.
I
And then it's
think
kind of done.
I think it clicks Aura in the snow matchup. I think against the snow team, you're just fine putting Aura Veil on this mon.
That's true.
Um,
I definitely played a matchup last season where I played into snow and I was the only one to click Oroville, even though I didn't have a snow set around my team.
and I think it's important to note that this is actually a supportive mon that gets a ton of utility. Like I don't think you're gonna run Ice Shard, but you could.
Yep.
Let me see the moves again. I think that there's defensive
Going
things.
water.
I don't think this thing really wants to tank because it is an ice type. Does it get reflect too? So it can set screens.
Yep.
It gets. I don't think you're running recover on this. I don't think you're running rapid spin on this to go that much faster. But
Oh,
I
and it's got that 105 speed Terror Blast.
yeah
Not as good as a Jolteon, but same idea.
yeah. I think that just having this guy and the crocodile on your team, even in team preview, makes you
Yeah.
threatening enough to say, okay, what are you going to do about me? I think being 105 speed means that you can actually click Snowscape over like Palafin in rain, over
Mm-hmm.
some guys in rain, not over the
Yep.
Jugulus.
Yep.
But I think that there's a world where you run this guy really really fast.
Oh, it gets Solar Beam for some reason too.
Yeah,
Just in case.
this guy has really cute options. But
Yeah.
really, he is here to support, and he is the scariest when supporting next to the crocodile. So
Yeah.
like, talk about the
Yeah.
crocodile more.
Yeah, so Crocodile, in addition to being an awesome Anger Point combo piece, it actually is just a really solid utility intimidate piece. Like the set that I just like see all the time. Every time I'm like building, I'm like, well, I kind of just want to be able to crunch, to close combat, to be able to click Earthquake, and then I'm gonna protect, and that's it. This is Crocodile. This is Crocodile's thing. This is it. This is his lane. He loves this lane. Loves this lane. Sits right here. Um, he can bulk up. He can gunk shot. He gets Dragon Claw, which is like actually a nice piece of coverage. Like not very many non-dragon types actually get Dragon Claw. Um, gets Helping Hand. Gets Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot is like a move actually. Like it's my Rock Slider. Um, and it gets Taunt. But really, this is its lane. This is where it lives. Everything else is trying to do something special, but it really is just solid. It comes out, it intimidates, it hits hard. It has like pretty solid defenses, 95, 80, 80, 70. Like can take a hit, especially after intimidate. And 92 isn't like super fast, but it's fast enough. I run Tailwind. That's the
So
plan.
so I remember you calcing for a match with crocodile. You drafted this with the cryogonal in your last draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a calc that you were doing, and you were showing me, well, I can kill this guy with this move, and I can kill this guy with this coverage move, and I can kill that guy with this coverage move, and my life orb is over here, and I need all this power. I'm going to run Muscle Band, and I think having 117 base attack is one of the causes of that. It's a really awkward attack number
Mm-hmm.
to calc against. Right? It is
Yep.
not something that is going to OHKO every mon, especially not without weakness, but it is enough to find, okay, this week I need a band, or this week I can run the assault vest. This week I can actually be an intimidate mon and just kind of go around intimidating. And
Mm-hmm.
117 is really serviceable for crocodile. And being a
Yeah.
dark and a ground type means that you can't get hit with prankster moves. You can't get hit with dumb doodle things.
Yep.
Uh, I
Yep.
don't think doodle's in the format in the draft on our side, but
No one picked
um,
Doodle, which is
but
too
that
bad. Doodle's
but
fun.
that dark type is, I think anytime you're going to be hit with the fighting type move, you were going to get hit with that fighting type move anyway, and
Yep.
that dark coverage is a really good asset to this particular uh, ground type, especially on your team, because you have a lot
Yeah.
of other fighting resists. You have King Gambit to kind of ward off fairy types.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a scary Pokemon on your team.
Yep. Oh, also, fun fact: this guy gets Power Trip. What a cool move, right? For when I'm +6, which happens. All right. Next we have the king, Elvis. This is Skuntank. Skuntank's fine. He's here. He gets Explosion, which is I think a unique thing. He's like the second strongest explosion
Hold on.
in the format.
So you go to Skuntank, and this poison dark mon with stench. Let me see those stats.
You know,
With
some
93
HP.
attack and 84 speed and
Yeah.
and a lot of HP. That's a lot of HP. And your
Yeah, it's a
first
lot of
move is
HP.
explosion. That's the first thing you put into his move slot.
You know, when I was drafting this, I was thinking, you know, it'd be kind of cool. Rapska gets telepathy and revival blessing. What if I just exploded and then immediately revival blessinged my guy? Um, and so I started looking for who has the strongest explosion, and it turns out it's Garganical, who I'd previously drafted and then traded. And so I went for the next best thing, which unfortunately gives me like more dark types, but also more dark types that continue to be neutral to fairy, which is a little bit of my theme. Um, but yeah, otherwise it gets crunch. It gets a bunch of like really interesting special coverage, including flamethrower, and shadow ball, and then it gets play rough. It gets sucker punch, which is always useful. It gets gunk shot, which I like. It gets toxic and toxic spice. I really appreciate having a mon that can click toxic, especially when we're going to start seeing these Ting Lus and these Wochiens and these Skeledridges all on the same team. I need a way to deal with them that sometimes just can't be hitting them with my thing, because that's what they do. They're just like, yeah, you hit me, but whatever, I didn't care. And toxic is a way to deal with that.
What are his abilities? They're really weird.
Yeah, it gets stench, which is adds a flinch chance to all of its attacks, which is a little cute. It gets aftermath, which is like, if you hit me and I die, you get skunked, which means you take a little bit of extra HP. And it gets keen eye, which if someone comes at me with some Sandvale Palisand, I'll be ready for it.
Yeah, I think that this mon isn't strong.
Yeah,
I think you
it's
have
fine.
found I think you have found this mon's best use case, and I think you actually plan to use it effectively. I really like the plans you have for this mon. I don't think anyone's going to expect this mon to be a threat, but I
Yeah.
do think that there are things that this mon can do that are unique to it. And I think that like poison gas is kind of cool. Have you read poison
Yeah.
gas?
Poison gas, secretly a real move. It poisons both foes at 90%, which is not bad at all. Sometimes you just want your opponents to be poisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that Scarf Skuntank or Band Skuntank or what's its special attack? What are its stats?
71.
Don't run this special, man. That's so bad. Okay, this mon is not good.
You don't want to see me. You don't want to. What? It gets nasty plot. You don't want to see me nasty plot flamethrower on my Skuntank.
No. Maybe.
All right, cool. All right. But yeah, that's Skuntank. Happy to have him.
Get Snarl.
Oh, he does get Snarl.
This is not a special mon.
Yeah, he's just not a special mon. Oh, he gets Hex, right? Right. He does. He gets the tools. He gets the tools. All right.
But not the love.
But also, here's a special move he might click. He gets Acid Spray. Acid Spray is neat.
Yeah.
Acid Spray, faster Acid Spray next to like Cryogonal or Volcarona or even Jolteon could be really helpful. All right.
I do appreciate how he's not weak to fairy.
Yeah. All right. This is the guy that saved my draft. I did my first draft. I listened to some of the feedback from some of the olds about what they thought my team was missing, and they said they think I wanted something that resisted ground, especially if it could set both screens. And that's
hold on. What did you have before this?
Oh, I had Bruxish and Cyclizar.
And why were those guys your picks originally?
I wanted to fill out I was trying to fill out my tight chart. I needed some resistances. I couldn't resist fire, so I got two guys that resisted fire. Bruxish I actually think is fine. I am not upset to no longer have Bruxish because I've Jump Fluff, but I was ready to run some like Choice Band Strong Jaw Bruxish that you think is dazzling, so you don't fake me out. And I think, and like, by the way, Bruxish gets Wave Crash. That Choice Band Wave Crash hits like a tank. That Choice Band Psychic Fangs hits like a tank, especially with Strong Jaw. So I was happy about it. Looks good, but I'm actually just really happy about my for move slot syndrome jump fluff. Like, is it screens? Is it encore? Is it cotton guard baton pass? Is it leech seed sap sipper? Is it pollen puff? Is it rage powder? Is
So
it?
so yeah,
By the way,
most
it's
of the
tailwind. Just for the
most
record. By the way, it is in fact tailwind.
so it's always running Tailwind because that's what you do.
Yeah,
It's 110
that's what I
speed.
do.
It's Tailwind. It's probably Chlorophyll unless it's Infiltrator for like the screens or whatever. Um,
Yeah,
but also it gets Rage Powder. So a thing that this draft was a little afraid of picking Jumpluff that we were talking about is it overlaps a little bit with Volcarona's job in
yeah.
setting Tailwind, in um
In rage
in
powdering,
Rage Powdering,
in
in being
in
weak to
being
Rock.
supportive. Yeah,
But without a second Tailwind setter, Volcarona was always doing the support and couldn't actually be that versatile threat we were talking about with the top
yeah.
2 picks.
Yep. Yep.
So now you have a slightly faster, slightly more versatile. I mean, look at Charm. Uh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
got Sleep Powder. It's got
It also
Screens.
gets Bullet Seed to help set up my Annihilate. Like it has the things.
It has
It has
Fling. It
55
has
attack and special
Fling.
attack.
So
Yeah, it gets fling.
you can fling a Speed Berry at your weakness policy uh, Annihilate.
Yeah, I'd have to Terra first, but it seems fine.
Why? Oh, sure, because you're not
Um,
weak to dark.
yeah, because I'm not weak to dark, but
Whatever.
it seems fine, right? Yeah, here I am, and now yeah, flinging some berries feels great. This is the support I needed. I just like didn't have anything that I could treat as a dedicated support, and my dedicated support sets screens and sets tailwind, and that just sets all of my really bulky, strong mons up to live that extra 2 attacks, and then beat you with just their 135, 110, and 130 numbers.
And I don't think it's super in competition for the Sash. I think maybe Cryogona wants the Sash sometimes. I think that we were
Hmm.
talking about Jolteon not needing the Sash. I think
Hmm.
that this Pokemon really like you don't want your mons to be afraid like to hog the Sash, and this guy wears it most of the time. Unless
Yeah,
it's running Light Clay, but I think that
yeah. Sometimes it runs like clay.
maybe 5 turns of screens is just fine.
5
But
turns might be enough.
if
Yeah.
you're running Rage Powder, you run the Sash, it's kind of nice.
Yep. Yep. Just like nice and flexible. All right. And then last 2 months, um, these are my twin Eviolite users. They are unfortunately kind of my only real fire resist, but if I really need to resist fire, if it's physical fire, I can bring Karkle, and if it's special fire, I can bring Sliggoo. Both of them are really bulky with Eviolite. Sliggoo gets gooey, which is like nice as a like pretend speed control. I can actually, I think I can I set up. I can Will-O-Wisp my Will-O-Wisp triggers Steam Engine, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Hold on. What are his stats? How bulky is he defensively? Yo,
Um,
that's a ton
80,
with
90, 70.
Eviolite.
Yeah, no, 80, 90, 70 is a bunch with Eviolite. Also, he's faster than Colossal, and so his Steam Engine is actually really fast.
He
Um,
doesn't have as much coal in his thing.
exactly. His Steam Engine is actually really fast. Yet another mon that can click Explosion. You know, I love checking to see if that's a move that it can do. Like, what if I just bring Explosion, Rapska? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna die. Great. All right. So yeah, it's fine. It doesn't want to do weakness policy stuff because it would much.
What does it do? It clicks Will-O-Wisp. That's
It
cool.
clicks Will-O-Wisp. And that's kind of it.
It could click body press with Iron Defense. That's kind of cool.
It does get Iron Defense body press. That is a thing that it does.
That won't
not
get the
cool.
Eviolite boost, but that's still an option.
Yeah,
it's still a thing.
Definitely a thing. But yeah. So yeah, Karkle, he's here. Hanky, sometimes I'm sure I actually think he'll show up. Like having like, what if I am just like flame body all around, or what if I like really need to be immune to fire? Like this feels like fine in the Torkoal matchup.
I don't mind that against. I don't love it. I'm
We'll find out.
I'm a Sliggoo believer. I don't know.
Okay, I'm a Sliggoo believer as well, and that is because of one move. I spent a bunch of time thinking like, what should I spend my last 3 points on? And then I was looking through, and this move came up for me. This is Life Dew. Sliggoo, bulky. Look at this guy. 113 special defense, before Eviolite. This guy is not going down on the special side, which means he can sit there next to Hamlet's dad and be like, "Hey, Hamlet's dad, you want 25% of your HP back? Great. Here's some life dew.
Hey, I see
Great.
that you
Here's
just
some
died
life
and got brought back at 50%. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you like some HP back?
Yeah, here's some life dew. It gets muddy water. That could help. It can drop the Draco Meteor. 83 is not a lot, but Draco Meteor is a lot.
That's a real special move. I think that should not be discounted. I think if it's running one special attack and it's Draco Meteor, that is just fine with me.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's about it. It gets Acid Spray. I like Acid Spray. But yeah, that's the team. Thanks so much for chatting with us. It's actually time.
Hold on. Before we go, do you have any replays?
No, it's time. No. My opponent's ready.
Oh
it's
man.
Time.
All right. Thank you very much, PancakeMx. Let's good luck in your match. I'll be watching.
All right.